Hamilton the Musical is about creating something new and a promise of a country that centers on humanity. And you see that represented with the relationships that pass through the story. And I think that that's why it still resonates today. It begs those same questions of what does it take to create a country that prioritizes humanity. When I reflect on the 10-year anniversary of Hamilton being on the Broadway stage, it moves me so deeply. Hello. It was important for me to create a design for Hamilton that would be specific for Hamilton. None of us were interested in doing a museum piece. It turns the 18th century on its head so that it doesn't feel beholden to that specific period. It becomes a Hamilton period instead. I went about exploring both contemporary images, fashion that you see on the street even today, and then also the 18th century. And I thought, well, the way that they have to move through space and the way that we see them needs to be informed by who the performers are, and it needs to center on the performers, and that will help us to move through this 18th century story. The women, when they're playing men, they have waistcoats and breeches, and those breeches are fit like leggings. Feels very athletic. It also has a kind of a body-conscious appeal and keeps them sexy in a way and feminine. So it is that nod to the 18th century, but because it's being worn just with a pair of breeches and boots, it's a much more contemporary expression. Setting it up with that contemporary difference allows for the audiences to focus on the emotional arc of each of the characters. And that was a very specific intent that I have. Hello. Great to see you. The idea of the parchment look refers to what Hamilton is writing on. It was a symbol of that blank sheet of parchment that is before any idea is born. It also neutralizes the ensemble so that you can't tell the principal actors from the ensemble. You know, they all are a band of players, basically. And then as the principal characters are revealed, they add on a signature color, and it becomes reflective of who they are. To have Hamilton start and finish in parchment, it comes full circle. You're invited to engage with this presentation of an 18th century story that feels removed. And then as you see it revealed, I think as an audience member, you're drawn into it and you go on this amazing ride, and it's hugely embraced, even 10 years later.